Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special Halloween-themed episode of Poetry Live. Tonight, we'll be doing the... Who are we doing tonight? Tonight, we're doing the Graveyard Poets. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, wow. Wow, hello, Wingnut. Hi, Jess. Come in. Hello again, Tuffy. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Blanks. Andrew and Jane. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Darby. Hello, Arcadina. Welcome, guys. How are you? Yes, I'm dressing for Halloween. Thank you for the lovely compliments. Hello, Max. Hello, All One Love. Come in, everyone. I'm not freezing. Actually, I'm roasting in this at the moment, but it's all for a good cause. Hello, Chimer. Hello, Thickberg. Come in. Welcome to tonight's show of Poetry Live. Tonight we're doing these Graveyard Poets. Hello, Mella. Hello, welcome back, Kurt Rhineland. Thank you, Andrew. I'm glad you like it. Hot cinnamon might be later once I've taken the coat and the scarf off. But for the moment, let's run with it. It's all good fun. And I'm having fun. Excellent. I'm excited as well, Leslie. I'm very excited. Yes, we've got bats. I remember. Well, I'm glad. I hope that Jane likes the Doctor Who. So, hello, Speculous. Hello, come in. Welcome, guys. Come in. Sit yourselves down. Welcome to tonight's episode of Poetry Live. Hello. Come in, everyone. Hello, Sarah. Come in. Welcome, everyone. Let's get everybody cracking in. And ooh. Here we go. I'm going to tweet with... For some reason, this isn't... Oh, wonderful. I love Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman. That sounds fab. For some reason at the moment, by the way, guys, hello everyone, hello, welcome. Oh yes, he is fab. Hello again, DJ. Hello, Cara. Hello. Come in, guys. Come in. Welcome. Oh, that's some serious Elfman fandom, Wingnut. That is excellent. Hello, Avery. Come in. Hello, Dawson. Hello. Absolutely. Keats and Yeats, both wonderful poets. we should actually. I had a torch. The torch has gone. Everyone's here. So that's what we like to see. And I'm just trying to go because I have issues with. We've had Periscope's been being silly and naughty at the moment. I've made it behave. Excellent. Good. I've done it in the past, Rhineland. I'd love to do it again. Unfortunately, it's far too long to get off in a single setting this evening. Thank you, Avery. You make me smile too. Thank you so much for coming to tonight's show. I hope you're all looking forward. But Rhineland, it's definitely one to do again. It's a lot of fun. Tonight, though, I'm going to take you on a tour of the Graveyard Poets with a few of my favourite Gothic poets thrown in as well. And I think what I'll start with for this spooky evening, so I will open you with a very, very famous graveyard poet, probably one of the most famous graveyard poems. This. No, not Poe. This is Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard by Thomas Gray. Oh, that could be fun, Andrew. Tell you what, I like that idea, Andrew. Let's do that next week. That could be fun to play with next week. Let's do that. I like that idea. This, though, His elegy in a country churchyard. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing herd winds slowly o'er the lea. The ploughman homeward plods his weary way and leaves the world to darkness and to me. Now fades the glimmering landscape on the sight, and all the air a solemn stillness holds, save where the beetle wheels his droning flight and drowsy tinkling in the distant folds. Save that from yonder ivy-mantled tower the moping owl does to the moon complain of such as wandering near her secret bower molest her ancient solitary reign. Beneath those rugged elms that yew trees shade, where heaves the turf in many a moundering heap, each in his narrow cell for ever the rude forefathers of the hamlet sleep. The breezy call of incense-breathing morn, the swallow tittering from the straw-built shed, the cock's shrill clarion, or the echoing horn, no more shall rouse them from their lowly bed. For them no more the blazing hearth shall burn, or busy housewife ply her evening care. No children run to lisp their sire's return, or climb his knees the envied kiss to share. Oft did the harvest to their sickle yield, their furrow oft the stubborn glebe has broke. How jocund did they drive their team afield, how bowed the woods beneath their sturdy stroke. Let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely joys and destiny obscure, nor grandeur hear with a disdainful smile the short and simple annals of the poor. The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, all that beauty, all that wealth e'er gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory leave but to the grave. Nor you, ye proud, impute to these the fault, if memory o'er their tomb no trophies raise, where through the long-drawn aisle and fretted vault the pealing anthem swells the note of praise. Can storied urn or animated bust back to its mansion call the fleeting breath? Can honour's voice provoke the silent dust, or flatteries soothe the cold, dull ear of death? Perhaps in this neglected spot is laid some heart once pregnant with celestial fire, hands that the rod of empire might have swayed, or waked to the ecstasy the living lyre. But knowledge to their eyes her ample page, rich with the spoils of time, did ne'er unroll. Chill penury repressed their noble rage, and froze the genial current of the soul. Full many a gem of purest ray serene the dark unfathomed caves of ocean bear. Full many a flower is born to blush unseen, and waste its sweetness on the desert air. Some village Hampden that with dauntless breast little tyrant of his fields withstood, some mute inglorious Milton, here may he rest, some Cromwell guiltless of his country's blood. The applause of listening senates to command, the threats of pain and ruin to despise, to scatter plenty o'er a smiling land, and read their history in a nation's eyes. Their lot forbade, not circumcised alone, their growing virtues, but their crimes confined, forbade to wade through slaughter to a throne, and shut the gates of mercy on mankind. The struggling pangs of conscious truth to hide, to quench the blushes of ingenious shame, or heap the shrine of luxury and pride with incense kindled at the muse's flame. Far from the madding crowd's ignoble strife, their sober wishes never learned to stray. Along the cool sequestered vale of life they keep the noiseless tenor of their way. Yet even these bones from insult to protect, some frail memorial erected nigh, with uncouth rhymes and shapeless sculpture decked, implores the passing tribute of a sigh. Their name, their years, spelt by the unlettered muse, the place of fame and elegy supply, and many a holy text round she strews that teach the rustic moralist to die. For who to dumb forgetfulness a prey, this pleasing anxious being ere resigned, left the warm precincts of the cheerful day, nor cast one longing lingering look behind. On some fond breast the parting soul relies, some pious drops the closing eye requires. Even from the tomb the voice of nature cries, even in our ashes live the wonted fires. For thee, who mindful of the unhonoured dead dost in these lines their artless tale relate, if chance by lonely contemplation led, some kindred spirit shall inquire thy fate, haply some hoary-headed swain may say, oft have we seen him at the peep of dawn, brushing with hasty steps the dews away, to meet the sun upon the upland lawn. There at the foot of yonder nodding beech that wreathes its fantastic roots so high, his listless length at noontime would he stretch and pour upon the brook that babbles by. Hard by yon wood, now smiling as in scorn, muttering his wayward fancies he would rove, now grouping woeful wan like one forlorn, or crazed with care, or crossed in hopeless love. One morn I missed him on the customed hill, along the heath and near his favourite tree. Another came, nor yet beside the rill, nor up the lawn, nor at the wood was he. The next, with dirges due in sad array, slow through the churchway path we saw him borne. Approach and read, for thou canst read the lay graved on the stone beneath yon aged thorn. Here rests his Here rests his head upon the lap of earth, a youth to fortune and to fame unknown. Fair science frowned not on his humble birth, and melancholy marked him for her own. Large was his bounty, and his soul sincere. Heaven did a recompense as largely send. He gave to misery all he had, a tear. He gained from heaven, 'twas all he wished, a friend. Large, no farther seeks his merit to disclose, or draw his frailties from their dread abode. There they alike in trembling hope repose, the bosom of his Father and his God. There we go, ladies and gents. That was Eulogy in a Graveyard by the wonderful Thomas Gray. One of the most famous graveyard poems. It's one of those poems that kind of started this whole Victorian movement of writing poems in the graveyards. Perfect, I thought, for Halloween. Thank you guys, thank you. The next poem that I'd like to read you though is by an author that you might know. Excellent, I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it, Charles. Thank you for the jazz hands, Danny. This next poem is by a rather more famous author, though perhaps not known as well for her graveyard poems. This is Emily Bronte. Really? That's fab. I hope he's on the TV news for good reason, Susan. This is My Lady's Grave by Jane Bronte. The linnet in the rocky dells, the moorlark in the air, the bee among the heather bells that hide my lady fair. The wild deer browse above her breast, the wild birds raise their brood, and they, her smiles of love caressed, have left her solitude. I ween that when the grave's dark wall did first her form retain, they thought their hearts could ne'er recall the joy of light again. They thought the tide of grief would flow, unchecked through future years. But where is all their anguish now, and where are all their tears? Well, let them fight for honour's breath, or pleasure's shade pursue. The dweller in the land of death is changed and careless too. And if their eyes should watch and weep till sorrow's source were dry, she would not in her tranquil sleep return a single sigh. Below west wind, by the lonely mound, and murmur summer streams, there is no need of other sound to soothe my lady's dreams. Hello, Esther. Hello. I haven't seen you popping on here in ages. How are you, Esther? I'm glad you like the costume. I thought I would dress up for Halloween. Oh, I think so. We should all do a spooky graveyard poem. That's good to hear. We're doing graveyard poems tonight, Esther. It being Halloween and all. So this is it. We just done some Bronte, but we have more to come. I have, in fact, got The Song of Wandering Angus by W.B. Yeats to share with you. And by the way, Susan, I could vaguely catch those comments there, Susan. Big ups to your husband. It sounds like he's doing a wonderful thing at the moment. So, congratulations, I'm sure, and I hope that you are proud of him. Yes, a little Yeats. Nothing like a little Yeats to join with the spooky Wandering Angus. Angus is a Celtic god, for those of you who might not know. It's a rather ethereal poem to go with. I went out to the hazel wood because fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand, and hooked a berry to a thread, and when white moths were on the wing, and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream, and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by name. It had become a glimmering girl, with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I'm old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips, and take her hands, and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun. There, that wandering Celtic god pursuing beauty across the Irish country. It is, isn't it? It has, this is the nice thing, it has got the beauty in it and the spookiness. Yeats, of course, wasn't a graveyard poet, but I wanted to include that because it's got those elements in it. Glad you guys liked it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to switch now, again, here we go, to Porphyria's Lover by... No, I haven't done Telltale Heart. I haven't. I'm going to hit Porphyria's Lover instead by Robert Browning. Robert Browning, of course, as a poet in the Victorian age, was one of those great masters of narrative poem, of the grotesque, of the macabre. Oh, really? Well, I'll tell you what, shall we see? Can I... Ta-da. I tell you what then, ladies and gents, let's go and do Porphyria's Lover, and then we'll round off tonight with... what shall we round off with? Let's go for... I'm just going to pick which one. There we go. Although we can't do Telltale Heart because it's fairly long still, we will round off tonight with The Haunted Palace by Poe after we do Porphyria's Lover. Is Isabel watching the show? Is my question though. Esther, is Isabel watching the show? And hello, Cal, hello, come in. Come in. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Well, this one... Well, I'll forgive her if she's at a sleepover. Fair enough. She's probably having fun. This one is Porphyria's Lover by Browning. The rain sat early in tonight. The southern wind was soon awake. It tore the elm tops down for spite, and did its worst to vex the lake. I listened with heart fit to break, when glided in Porphyria straight. She shut the cold out and storm, and kneeled and made the cheerless grate blaze up, and all the cottage warm. Which done, she rose, and from her form withdrew the dripping cloak and shawl, and laid her soiled gloves by, untied her hat, and let the damp hair fall. And last she came, sat down by my side and called me. When no voice replied, she put my arm around her waist, and made her smooth white shoulder bare, and all her yellow hair displaced, and stooping, made my cheek lie there, and spread o'er all her yellow hair, murmuring how she loved me. She, too weak for all her heart's endeavour to see its struggling passion free from pride and vainer ties dissever, and give herself to me forever. But passion sometimes would prevail, nor could tonight's gay feast restrain a sudden thought of one so pale, for love of her, and all in vain. So she was come through wind and wane. Be sure I looked up at her eyes. Happy and proud at last I knew Porphyria worshipped me. Surprise made my heart swell, and still it grew while I debated what to do. The moment she was mine, fair, perfectly pure and good, I found a thing to do. and all her hair in one long string I wound 3 times round her little throat and strangled her. No pain felt she, I am quite sure she felt no pain. As a shut bud that holds a bee, I warily oped her lids again, laughed the blue eyes without a stain, and I untied next the tress about her neck. Her cheek once more blushed bright beneath my burning kiss. I propped her head up as before, only this time my shoulder bore her head, which droops upon it still. The smiling, rosy little head, so glad it has its utmost will, that all its scorn that once is fled, and I, its love, am gained instead. Porphyria's love, she guessed not how her darling one wish would be heard. And thus we sit together now, and all night long we have not stirred, and yet God has not said a word. There. Hello, Paul. Hello, welcome. Welcome. We are doing some Gothic and graveyard poets tonight. That was Browning, which does make you wonder what kind of relationship he had with his wife, one would say. And Wingnut, I feel your thing. I think my hair is just about long enough, if it gets much longer, to drape around my throat as well. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Ryland. Thank you. Hello, Larry. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. The hair is long indeed, Esther. I'm thinking of getting the full... actually, either getting the fringe trimmed a little bit. Do you know what? The thing is, Rich, I used to actually carry Jelly Babies around in this coat, and it used to, whenever I put it on, I'd find empty Jelly Baby packets in here. But no Jelly Babies tonight. Actually, I can see the theme there. I think this is a popular theme, isn't it, in poems, for reasons we won't perhaps go into. Possibly. That's the master. Although I actually haven't. We'll cover. I'll do one last poem for tonight, and then we can cover my views on current Doctor Who. The Beast Below. No, we are going to round off. We are going to round off tonight with my favourite shorter poem by Poe. Oh no, not the master. She's a little Saxon child thing. Saxon thing person. Guest starred in an episode. Sorry, I thought you meant Missy, not Massey. I get confused. Too many Massies and Missies. This, ladies and gents, is The Haunted Palace by Edgar Allan Poe, to send you off to nightmares tonight. Oh, Annabelle Lee is good, but my favourite's Haunted Palace, Vicky. We might do Annabelle Lee for an encore if you guys shout loud enough. You might get Annabelle Lee for an encore. That's all I can promise. The slight possibility of an encore. But first, The Haunted Palace. In the greenest of our valleys, by good angels tenanted, once a fair and stately palace, radiant palace reared its head. In the monarch thought's dominion it stood there, never seraph spread a pinion over fabric half so fair. Banners yellow, glorious, golden, on its roof did float and flow. This, all this, was in the olden time, long ago. and every gentle air that dallied in that sweet day along the ramparts plumed and pallid, a winged odour went away. Wanderers in that happy valley through two luminous windows saw spirits moving musically to a lute's well-tuned law, round about a throne where, sitting, poor figurine in state, his glory well befitting, the ruler of the realm was seen. And all, with pearl and ruby glowing, was the fair palace door, through which came flowing, and sparkled evermore a troop of echoes whose sweet duty was but to sing in voices of surpassing beauty the wit and wisdom of their king. But evil things in robes of sorrow assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn, for never morrow shall dawn upon him desolate. And round about his home the glory that blushed and bloomed is but a dim remembered story of the old time entombed. And travellers now within that valley through the red-litten windows see vast forms that move fantastically to a discordant melody, while, like a ghastly rapid river through the pale door, a hideous throng rush out forever and laugh but smile no more. And that, ladies and gents, was The Haunted Palace by Ho. One of my favourite poems. I think The Raven's my favourite Poe poem, but we'd be here all night if we tried to go and do that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Now the question: Do I go and do Annabel Lee as one final extra cheeky poem for tonight? Are we going to have the encore with Annabel Lee, guys? What do we think? Shall we? Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Esther. Well then, Kathy. Well, Kathy wants it. Sarah wants it. Tara wants it. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. We will go then on to Annabel Lee, ladies and gents, because you've been such a wonderful audience, and because you keep the bats going, and because it's Vicky's favourite poem. Let's go. The Raven, to do a proper version of The Raven, Paul, I've done The Raven I think 3 times on Periscope now. To do it properly it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's a hefty poem. If you take your time with it. And I don't like rushing through it. I like doing it with full timber. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child in the kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea a wind blew out a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so will the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. And there, ladies and gents, Annabel Lee to round off the night. Yes! It's a tremendously heartbreakingly sad poem. Hello, Shalover. Hello. Sad times. Thank you, Wingnut, thank you. And actually, I'm not sure if consciously or unconsciously, the working title for my novel at the moment is Kingdom by the Sea. I am very well, thank you. How is radio going over in New York at the moment? How is it? My week is fab, Chilliver. Absolutely fab. Happy for the weekend and Halloween. And of course, this is England. And of course, do you guys know, for those of you who are in the States, it's not just Halloween this weekend. In England, we celebrate the fact that somebody tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament hundreds of years ago, and they failed, and we tortured them, and hung them, and drew them, and quartered them, and pulled all their guts out. And so every year we have firework displays to demonstrate the fact that corporal punishment deters people from blowing up the seat of government. We call it Bonfire Night. It's meant to be held on November the 5th, obviously because it falls so close to Halloween. Yes, tomorrow night is Bonfire Night in England for much of us. So we're having fireworks and bonfires, and we're celebrating. Well, we know, we grow up, we've got nursery rhymes, basically. For those of you who don't know it, long ago, there was a group of, I suppose you'd call them terrorists now, led by a man called Guy Fawkes, but Guy Fawkes was the most famous of them, who plotted to blow up Parliament. Fab! I'm sure I would agree. We do know how to party, but of course, these guys claim they went and put gunpowder beneath the Houses of Parliament with the intentions of blowing them up, but they were discovered. And the conspirators thought they were chased down. Parliament wasn't blown up, and the most famous of those plotters, the man who was meant to set off the bomb, was a man called Guy Fawkes, or Guy Fawkes. So every year, for reasons unknown, we celebrate how Guy Fawkes' plot didn't work and how he was tortured by blowing up fireworks in the sky, by having a giant bonfire and burning effigies of him. And so tomorrow night I'm going to be enjoying Halloween and Bonfire Night at the same time, which will be a lot of fun. And as Paul did for us there in the comments, lovely Paul, yes, remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. Yes, that's England, guys. That's what we like. I think if you're going to hang, draw and quarter someone, you may as well turn it into a national celebration and sell fireworks. I can't believe you don't have fireworks. So I would have thought you guys would have twigged on to the fact that fireworks make everything better by now. Yes, we can do fireworks for, if it's the Queen's birthday, we can do fireworks. Sporting events, fireworks. Alabama does it. Hey, for Alabama! 3 cheers for Alabama, ladies and gents, for managing to get there. Oh, Disneyland does fireworks for everything. Thank you, Vicky. I'm glad you like it. Well, guys, I think you need to follow in the lead of Alabama and Disneyland here and get some more fireworks cracking. Absolutely. Parliament did find it important, but hey, this is all the fun stuff. Thank you, Esther. It was great. You should pop in more often, Esther. I will have a fast comment, and I want you guys to all have. Fireworks are illegal in California. Wow. I couldn't imagine making fireworks illegal. No, they're definitely not illegal over here. Well, they're a fire hazard here as well. Wow, Sarah. Oh, I suppose you guys are a lot drier though, aren't you? I mean, it's been raining solidly today and yesterday over here. So I think the odds of a firework blowing anything up is slim. A pumpkin bourbon milkshake. Avery, can you give me the recipe for the pumpkin bourbon milkshake? I want to make a pumpkin bourbon milkshake. Bourbon. So bourbon, I can pronounce it properly. A pumpkin bourbon milkshake. Send me the recipe. Okay, I can understand. I can understand not wanting fireworks in Cali as a result of that. That makes a lot of sense. But yes, send it through. That sounds awesome. Sounds really, really fun. I can have that and then go off and enjoy wandering around looking at fireworks and going, woo, wow. And New York City as well. Wow, I never knew so many places had banned fireworks, guys. That's insane. Well, it's not insane, actually. It makes good sense. Goodbye, Esther. Thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Say hi to Isabel for me and have fun. Ooh, minimalist baker. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point as well. Very good point there, Queen. But yes, we are fab. This could quickly fall into problems with this milkshake recipe. Unfortunately, you guys in America, it seems, have something that we don't. You've got pumpkin pie ice cream. You can buy pumpkin pie ice cream. That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, you don't have everything. You don't have everything. So you might have pumpkin pie ice cream, but I've got an American intern in at work at the moment, and currently I'm introducing them to the amounts of biscuits and confectionery that exist in England. So you don't have a Simon, and you don't have party rings or jammy Dodger biscuits. But other than that, you've got pumpkin pie. I need to see if I can get pumpkin pie ice cream. That looks awesome. I need to track this one down at some point. If I can buy pumpkin pie ice cream. Thank you. We could. You make it all from scratch. Well. Oh, hang on. There's a possibility. No. It's just not happening. It's not happening unless I make it myself. Which is then going to come into the problem of I don't have an ice cream maker. Oh well. For next year I can look at trying it. And if I I wish I was an ice cream. If I was an ice cream, I'd eat myself. That actually, I wouldn't work. I wouldn't work well as an ice cream. We'll see. We'll see. I will see. Then send it, sir. Send the link, Sarah. Send through the link. Well, you'll have to visit then, Avery. If you're visiting next year, you'll have to come and say hi. Whereabouts are they? Send it through Twitter. Whereabouts are they, Avery? And Sarah, send me the Twitter link for your fast and easy way. I've made the fast part of that. On the bake-off, they always use ice cream makers. Wow, Stoke! You're down south, I'm up north, but it's not that far. It's not that far, Avery. Oh, if you're going... Oh, Oxford's gorgeous. Oxford's got tons of awesome stuff. Let me know when you're popping through. And we can say hi. That would be so much fun. So definitely, Oxford is fab. I was down Oxford Way a few months back looking at Blenheim Palace, which is where Winston Churchill grew up, and I enjoyed that immensely. Beautimous. We have a new word, beautimous. I like it. I like the word beautimous. That's making me smile. Bakewell tarts. Bakewell. Well, that would be a wonderful, wonderful thing to do, Wingnut. If only. If only. But let's do it, Avery. Let's do it. That sounds fun. If anybody is in the vicinity or in the region, do come and say hi. But yeah, let's do it. This sounds fun. I'm not a member of the National Trust poll because it doesn't make much sense around here in Yorkshire, because things like Castle Howard, where I'm going tomorrow night, is privately owned, so National Trust membership doesn't cover that. Most of the local castles and abbeys are owned by English Heritage, with the exception of Fountains Abbey, which is National Trust, and you end up having to be a member of 4 or 5, sort of 4 different. Am I near Newcastle? All one word, Newcastle. Yes, I'm near Newcastle, Avery. National Trust, Sarah. Newcastle is just up north. Just up north. Yes, very close by. Oh, I was about to say fab. It's not the most exciting of English cities. Yorkshire's better. You should have popped down. Come down. If you drive down from it into the moors and the dales of Yorkshire, that's the nice of Newcastle's nice. Newcastle is a really nice city, but I'm a country guy at heart, so I like having trees and hills. Trees and hills and sheep make me happy. And horses. We've got, now we raise, well, I don't raise horses, but my village where I am now, we actually have a jockey school here, and we breed a lot of thoroughbreds around here. So we've got lots and lots of racing horses around and sat in the fields looking gorgeous. Absolutely James Herriot country. In fact, I should go and take a photo of some of the horses to go and I will Instagram some horse shots, I think. Because I don't have any to hand, but there are some wonderful, wonderful stables just over there. And yes, the National Trust is a big membership organisation that basically gives you entry into lots of wonderful sites, although it doesn't have as many properties as it used to have. I know, I can't be a jockey, but there is a jockey school. This is it, Avery, I would love to, but there's no Wi-Fi, so there's no internet signal outside of here. And the moment I leave the house, I think, can you guys see? I've got no phone signal. My phone signal. This is it, Avery. This is it. I live in what I like to call the most beautiful part of England. I live basically in between two national parks, and I can get to either national park within about 35 minutes drive. The problem with that is that nobody goes and nobody wants to put up any towers to disturb the countryside. They like leaving it natural, so our signal is awful. And yes, Avery, I love to go hiking and walking in there. I've got a stack of photos that I've taken whilst hiking about that I need to Instagram. I've got them all ready to pop up there, but I will share those over on Insta. Because it's a gorgeous, gorgeous place to go hiking, full of castles and ruins. In fact, today's picture on Insta, wow, that does sound. Alabama State Park. I would love to go and visit the state parks in the US. I think so as well, Avery. I think you might just be right. Oak Mountain. I need to look up. It's the Instagram wasn't a castle. It was an abbey. Where's my abbey shot on Insta? I can't even find my Instagram now. Here we go. This is the one. This is the one for those of you who haven't seen it. That is Byfleet Abbey. And when I first moved up to the area, I decided to go off for a hike around the North York Moors. And that was great. I went hiking, it went for about 2 hours, just fun. And then I saw a sign that said there was an Iron Age fort. So I thought, I'll go see the Iron Age fort. And I started walking off towards the fort. And at some point, the signs for the fort disappeared. And I kept walking. And I kept walking. And I figured that the path might just double back at some point. It didn't. It didn't. 6 hours later, feeling quite dehydrated, with the sun starting to set, I came across that abbey and took those pictures. And then an hour and a half after that, when it was actually by that point black, and I'd actually found the road to where the car park was where I'd parked. But 7.5 hours of being lost and wandering around on the North York Moors before I found the car and I got back home. And that was a good hike. That was a good hike. It was a few weekends before I went hiking again after that. But yes, probably the making of a poem. And it was a wonderful thing to go and find, actually, when you're just, I think it kind of highlights just how gorgeous the area is. You wander around in all these hills and the valleys and forests, and then you come across these majestic ancient ruins. So I can't recommend it enough for anyone who wants to come and visit Yorkshire. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. Wonderful, wonderful place. I was fortunately, 26, so it wasn't quite as scary for me. It was actually just fun. I like adventures. Well, hello to your 3-year-old visitor, Queen. I hope they're enjoying the show. But yes, wandering around there. I like adventures. I like getting lost, to be honest. It's the thing that I used to love about stuff like that. I used to love wandering around trying to get lost in London. But now I know my way around London and I can't get lost in London. And it's very irritating when I learn my way around somewhere. Once I do that thing... Oh, that's the best, Avery. That's the best. When it's nice and sunny I do like to go and find a nice field to sit and write in, or to drag a book out to. Take a book there, or the journal, or something. Truly, that's a lot of fun to do. I do enjoy it. He says, taking a No, I did not know that we could now fast forward on the Periscope web thing. I did not. Fab. That makes replays a lot easier, doesn't it? Excellent. Thank you for letting me know that one. That's a useful tip. Just blackcurrant juice, Avery. Just blackcurrant. Everybody thinks it's wine. It's blackcurrant juice. If I drink anything, I've noticed this. If I try to drink wine or anything like that whilst doing a show, it dries up the voice really quickly. We need to do another live chat, Paul. We need to do it, Paul. I'm sorry, I need to get back to you and share my thoughts on the last one, but I think definitely doing another one is worthwhile. But yes, I need something hydrating, otherwise I can't talk for these long lengths of time. God knows how radio hosts do it. I suppose they've got songs to drink plenty of water in between. I get by as I may. But yes, as Paul was saying, Paul and I went and did a blab together last week, and we need to go and do it again. It was a lot of fun, I thought. I think it's more of an opportunity for you guys to jump in actually, and say, oh, we've found a way. We found a way, Jenny. There's something called Blab. Well, thank you, Waynut, and take care. Have a wonderful Halloween. I'll see you next week. But there's something called Blab, and using Blab, you can have up to 4 people basically doing a scope at the same time with each other. And we did it last week, and Queen came on and spoke with us a bit, and we met a nice guy. We met a nice guy called Mike, and he joined in with us as well, and that was really fun. So we should do it again, because I think it's a nice way for us to get chatting with you guys and to let you guys interact a little bit more. I won't, Sarah, I won't. My weekend is actually, unfortunately, now quite packed out. Sunday, I just write, and I lock myself in this room and just focus on my writing. Saturday, though, I need to go watch the new James Bond film. I have to see the new James Bond film, otherwise people are going to be talking about it, and I'm going to get spoilers, so I need this done now. It's been tough enough. Bear in mind that my offices are actually on a university campus, and I've been surrounded by students talking about it, and I've been going, no. So we're looking forward to seeing the Bond film, and then going elsewhere. When are you at Speaker's Corner, Frank? When are you at Speaker's Corner? Because I was down in London last week. Was it last week? Well, thank you so much, Darby. It was great having you here. Have a wonderful, wonderful Halloween. Who's Ian? Ian? You're in London right now, Frank. I'm not. It's a shame. If I'd have known. I know Queen's name. I know Queen's. How long are you in London for, Frank? How long are you there for? Because I might be popping down to London at some point. You never know. It does happen every once in a while. How long are you there for? Can we share Queen's name, or do we have to keep Queen's name a secret? It did slip out when we were doing the blab. And so those of us who watched it know the big secret. Don't worry, Susan, I will catch your scope. I will catch your scope. Don't worry. Don't panic. I will get it. I think, Susan, you can still catch it. You can ask Catch to recatch your show. If it's still on replay, you can do that. But yeah, you can grab it. Well, Middlesex is actually closer than London. But next time I'm in London, I'll let folk know next time I'm popping down there, just in case anybody wants to say hello. But yes, I think the Blab might still be live. Possibly, you might be able to run in. Ooh, that's a long tube ride, Frank. That's a long tube ride. Anyway, ladies and gents, my drink is empty. My drink is empty and my voice is starting to wear through. So I am going to love you all and leave you all now. I'm going to go watch Susan's scope. So please, Susan's gone and done her Ghost Story scope. Please do go and watch that. I'm going to relax and watch that now. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this with me. Have a wonderful, magical Halloween weekend, whether they involve fireworks or not. Either way, it'll be fun. Wear something fun. Have a really good time, and I will see you guys next week as we go and do some more poetry, some more Le Morte d'Arthur. You'll read for me. Excellent, excellent. I can sit back, keep my mouth shut, have something cooling to drink, because this is also baking. I'm roasting alive in all these layers, and I can go and watch some scopes and chill out, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much, everyone. Paul, do I have enough time? That's the question. Susan, how long is your show? Because Paul's doing Walt Whitman, and I need to work out, have I got enough time to watch both? Or am I going to... I'll work out. I'll either watch Susan before the Walt Whitman show or after the Walt Whitman show. One of them I'll find a way of sorting out. Either way, though, I can stop wittering on. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you. Big thank you to Kathy and Tara and Beth and Susan and Sarah, Avery and Rosella, Queen, Vicky, Paul, Amira, Jenny, Frank, Pepsi and Taz. Thank you, all of you. Right, I'm going to run, watch Susan, and then I'll see you for the Walt Whitman show. Paul, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the outfit, Taz. And I hope you liked the replay as well. Stop fighting over who will watch first. Big hug, everyone. Have a great Halloween weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.